Hey, what's up everyone? Rosario here and welcome to Modern Finance. I'm here again in Fernie, British Columbia, and tonight I want to talk to you about something that's really near and dear to my heart, and that's the next step for Tesla. So my company, Inorbis, was founded in 2015, and we've been operating a rideshare company with exclusively electric vehicles, primarily Tesla vehicles, since 2015. And we've been operating in Western Canada, and we've been expanding across the country and into the US. We've been working with Teslas for a number of years now, and with all the other electric car brands. So I'm really excited because over the next 12 to 18 months, I think that we're going to see how autonomous ride-hailing unfolds. Tesla has had the vision of having an autonomous ride-hailing network for a long time, and Elon has repeatedly tweeted how they're only a few months away from level 5 autonomy. Now, I'm sure all of you know this, but all Teslas built today and for the last several years come feature equipped with all the hardware required for full self-driving. What this means now is that your Tesla can navigate on autopilot, it can take exits for you, it can steer for you, it can accelerate and brake for you, it can stop at traffic lights, and in the US under a public beta, Tesla can go from point A to point B, so destination to destination with few or no interventions. Check out Dirty Tesla if you want to see a channel that's really good at showing the capabilities of the full self-driving beta as it stands right now. What I would say is that this technology is really close. I know Elon keeps tweeting that the technology is about 2 weeks away, and a couple days ago he actually said that version 9 beta is only about 1 week away, so I'm getting really excited. Now, it's been 2 weeks away for 3 or 4 months. So does 1 week away mean we're actually 1 month away, 2 months away? I'm not sure. What I do know about this technology is that it's absolutely revolutionary, and it's going to change our lives in ways that we can't even imagine right now. I know this because I've been thinking about this technology nonstop, day in, day out for the past 5 years. For the past 6 years, actually, since I started Inorbis in 2015. And I know that it's going to change the way that people travel and the way that people live. I know that with the pandemic, there was a lot of movement from inner city living to the suburbs of areas and surrounding communities and acreages because people wanted more space and the ability to do what they want on their own property and have more activities at home and have a comfortable space to live and work. And with reduced commuting times, because many people were working from home, they were able to then actually operate from their houses instead of having to commute every single day into work. The great thing about autonomous vehicles is that you'll be able to have the best of both worlds. Companies are really frustrated with the lack of commitment and engagement from people when they're working remotely, and I know there are a lot of CEOs there who really want to get people back into the office. Something that autonomous vehicles could do is allow people to live further from downtown, from those work centers, and enable them to get into the city for their job every single day and still be able to work in person. How that would work would be something that I would imagine that you would actually get into your vehicle in the evening or in the early morning, and you could actually sleep in your vehicle all the way to work while it drives you there. An alternative is that you could actually work as you are going to work. So some of that time that you are traveling would actually be gained back. Now, what I imagine is that the future of what vehicles look like on the inside is going to be completely different from what it looks now. But obviously the first couple of generations of these vehicles are going to look very similar to what we have. In fact, you can look at a Tesla Model 3 and see what we're looking at. So it's going to be very minimalist design. You'll probably still have a steering wheel for a number of years, or at least a yoke like the Tesla Model S. I think it'll take billions of miles to iron out all the possible edge case scenarios, and Tesla's already got billions of miles of autonomous driving under their belt. But they're going to need billions more with the cars operating in full self-driving mode in order to kind of iron out all the kinks and all the possible edge case scenarios that they could see. So why am I so excited about this technology right now, and what do I see happening in the next year or two? Well, what's going to happen is that Tesla's going to be able to quickly enable this technology across their entire fleet because, as I mentioned, every single vehicle has the hardware installed. Once the beta gets up to a level where they're comfortable releasing it to the ordinary user, then it's going to roll out very quickly, and we're going to see right away what full self-driving looks like and how much stress it can actually relieve to not have to worry about having to drive yourself from point A to point B. I use autopilot in my Tesla every single time I drive. I think it's the best feature that has ever been invented by any company and the reason to buy a Tesla over every other car brand. So the first piece of the puzzle is the technology, and obviously I think that Tesla has that worked out. The second piece is the business model. So why does this technology justify Tesla's $700 billion market cap? And I think there's a few ways to show that the technology indeed does warrant Tesla to have a $1 trillion, $2 trillion market cap. And that's because this type of industry, I think, is a winner take most. So what's going to happen is when Tesla is able to have a fleet of fully self-driving autonomous vehicles, they're going to be able to take people from point A to point B at a cost that is substantially lower than any competitor like Uber or Lyft when they launched their ride-hailing service. And Tesla, while they have been open with their patents in the past, I don't think they're going to be sharing all their data and their self-driving equipment. Essentially, what Tesla is going to do is they're going to hold on to that technology for themselves, operate their network internally, and be able to quickly scale possibly the world's largest ride-hailing network and probably the world's cheapest ride-hailing network as well. In our experience at Enorbis, the cost of operating an electric vehicle is substantially lower than that of operating a gas vehicle. Our vehicles achieve a 6 to 8 cents per kilometer cost for our fleet, and that's been over the past 5 years. Now, the larger portion of our costs comes actually from the drivers, and we love our drivers and they love working for us, but I think Tesla and Uber and Lyft know this because they were all working on autonomous tech, and I think that Tesla is the only company that actually has a chance of getting that into production and having full self-driving available in the next couple of years. So what that's going to do for Tesla is it's going to eliminate about 60 to 80% of the cost basis for a ride-hailing company. That's insane. That's going to make them so profitable so quickly that other companies, taxi companies, Uber, will not be able to compete. Speaking from my own personal experience, Tesla is far ahead of the competition, and I think that the likelihood that any company will be able to catch up to where they are with their autonomous tech in at least the next 5 to 10 years is close to zero. Tesla is one of 2 companies that I'm familiar with that is working on a purely computer vision based autonomous driving system. And I actually agree with Elon that this is the best system. There's a reason for that, and it's essentially that when you have multiple sources of information, you have to decide which source takes precedent. So if you're driving down the highway and you have cameras and you have radar and perhaps you have LiDAR on top, well, if the LiDAR detects an object, but the cameras and radar don't, do you then tell the vehicle to stop because there's something there, or do you just ignore that information as extraneous data? The challenge with redundancy in these types of scenarios is that when you have redundant information, you don't know which information to prioritize. Tesla, I think, is making the right decision by focusing entirely on computer vision. Humans drive with human vision, that's all we need. We're fairly safe drivers, we're obviously not very good, but our problems are not because we don't see well. Our problems are that we get distracted, we get tired, we go out drinking. Those are the problems with human drivers. Computer drivers will not have those issues. So if Tesla can sort out the computer vision problem, I think that they can solve full autonomy. And I think they're very close to doing that. I think they're a lot closer than most people realize. I've worked on machine learning systems, and the reality is that the company with the access to the largest data sets is the one that wins. And Tesla has a fleet that has traveled billions of kilometers with full self-driving, or with autopilot at least. And they've been capturing data since day one in all of these vehicles. They are years and years ahead in terms of data collection versus all the other car companies, and versus even companies like Google and Waymo. Tesla has orders of magnitude more data. And for that reason alone, I think that Tesla is the company that is going to take the autonomous space. Before I end the video, I want to give an honorable mention to Comma AI. It's the other company that is also going all computer vision for their self-driving system. And I want to give a huge shout out to their founder, George Hotz. If you're like me, you'll remember him as Geo Hotz, the first person to jailbreak an iPhone when he was like 15 or 16 years old. So yeah, this guy is incredibly smart. His company is working on an autopilot-like system called the Comma 2 that you can put in your vehicle, and it can actually connect through the car's OBD2 port. And if you have a car that has a drive-by-wire system, the Comma 2 enables autopilot-like functionality, so automatic range detection, steering, and navigation on highway with essentially any car that has this feature set. You can plug the Comma 2 into any newer generation vehicle and it can operate autonomously almost as well as a Tesla. So why isn't Comma gonna win? Well, I think it's just a matter of data. They don't have as much data as Tesla does. I do like their machine learning approach actually a little bit better than Tesla's. They're trying to let their algorithm map completely without having to do manual labeling. So the algorithm itself is figuring out, using machine learning, how to navigate, whereas Tesla's kind of focusing on labeling every possible object and understanding, okay, this is a cone, this is a stop sign, this is a traffic light, whereas Comma's system is kind of relying purely on the experience of all drivers to make decisions. I think that might be a little bit more of an elegant solution, whereas Tesla seems kind of more of a piecemeal solution. But I think that Tesla may get to full autonomy first simply because the preponderance of engineers that they have and the incredible amount of data that they have. So in summation, I'm really excited for the emergence of this technology. I know that it poses a long-term threat to the success of companies like Inorbis, but we are working on technologies that enable us to operate city to city, which is something that I have not seen any of these other companies thinking about. The pairing of vehicle owners and the logistics that come with operating a ride-hail network are something that Tesla and some of these other companies will need if they want to have a ride-hailing network. So if you have a contact with Elon Musk, I encourage you to point him to this video and let him know that we are working on this. We are super excited for the possibility of working with Tesla in the future. But for now, guys, that's all. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is Tesla's share price going to hit $1,500 in the next 2 years? I think it will. But if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you in the next one.